Okay, there we go. We are live. We are live. We are live. Welcome. Hello, Goddess Bliss, who is first through the door. Joining me and Danielle. We're here for our holistic chat. We have not been on here in a while because life be lifing, but it's all good. It's all good. So, we got a really good topic that we want to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about filling your cup. That's something that she and I are so passionate about. We talk about it all the time because you can't talk about it enough. You can't not confront the issue of not filling your cup. And both of us being the healers that we are, we want to help you learn how to fill your cup. So, Danielle, say hello to the people and let's get this party
Hey
started.
everybody. It's funny, right? Because I started going off on a tangent and Miss Allison was like, can we go live first? Can we go live? Because I was just like,
Yes.
yeah. So let's talk about filling our cups. I've had an eventful few weeks. Life be life is an understatement. We all been feeling it. Um, but I've been like redefining my life. I'm starting a new chapter right now on so many different levels. And as I was closing a chapter, I recognized that in my romantic life, it was playing into how I did life because I was playing small because I was making my partner uncomfortable with how loud I live my life. And I'm not that loud of a person, like booming voice. Okay, a little loud. I know that. I mean, but in terms of we were giving analogies about things, and I have always said, are you somebody who dips your toe? Is one of the questions I always ask during an interview to let me know about a person.
Right.
I always ask, are you somebody who dips your toes into the water or are you somebody who dives in? And my answer every time is, no, I'm just going to cannonball in. I mean, I'm going to look around to make sure. I'm not going to dive in because I don't know if my neck if I'm going to hit the bottom and break my neck. But I am like, I'm jumping in. I got to get that cold splash done with, over with. And then I'm going to have so much fun in the water. I'm going to have a great time. Like, that is what I truly, that's how I live my life, though. That is my theme for life, is that I'm constantly just like, okay, this is what I'm going to go do. And I'm going to go do it. And I have started slowly but surely because I knew that my partner, my ex partner, um, was somebody who'd like to like tiptoe in. I'm just going to get my feet wet. Okay, then once my feet are comfortable, maybe I'll go to my ankles. And then if I'm comfortable, and so that I started playing, and it's one of those unconscious things, right? As you go through life, you start reading the people around you, especially us empaths. You can't help but feel what's happening. And you start, at least for those of us who've had some interesting starts in life,
Yeah.
we've learned how to avoid landmines. And some of the ways we learn to avoid landmines is by acting in accordance with how to, you read in the room
Yeah.
and going, you know what, I'm not going to behave the same way. And I have been behaving like that. And so that comes down to I have not been filling my cup then
Mm.
because we know with filling the cup, filling your own cup is so necessary regardless of if you're male, female, however you identify. Even if you are non-gendered, like it does not matter. It is essential to fill your cup. It is putting on that oxygen mask first. And when you stop filling your cup, there is nothing else to give. You cannot give to others. And even in my practice, I get all the time from my patients asking me, well, how often do you get work done? And I'm like, at minimum twice a month. if not more. And that's just for massage alone. That does not include acupuncture. That does not include Reiki. That does not include fill in the blank, whoever I can get,
Right.
wherever I can get in. Because how can I possibly, and I had this happen in Allison, I've discussed it before. When I was just doing massage, all my massage clients would ask me right after I got a massage, like, did you just get a massage? And I'm like, yeah. They could tell. These are clients. These are not my family members. These are not my close friends. These are people that, yes, it is a vulnerable relationship because they're on the table so that there is a
Yeah.
flow of energy back and forth. But the fact that people who do not know me, I may know them intimately, they may
Right.
not know me intimately, that they were like, oh, you got some body work because you're throwing down right now. And it made me really start thinking about the whole filling your cup then, because then what are people around you feeling that are intimately entwined with you, who know you? Should it be your children? Should it be your parents, your partners, your whoever? As
Yeah.
one of my roommates once said years ago, you are my other significantly. And I was like, yes, yes, people that you live with that know, right? Like, we were
Hmm.
not in a romantic relationship, but was like, absolutely, you are my other significantly. We operate as this household in this one unit. And yeah, so what are they feeling? And I don't
Yeah.
even want to ask. I don't even want to ask. I don't want to know because I already know.
Right.
They feel all. I mean, I also know I can't play poker
Right.
for the
No
life of
poker
me.
face.
No
Yeah.
poker face. But yeah, so when you are not when you are not living unapologetically as you, it it really isn't filling your cup, and it's actually draining your cup.
Facts. Facts.
It's amazing how many things. And the reason, and here's the thing, my not to get into my relationship, but the fact that my relationship ended and now all these things are happening, and it's because I'm focusing on me instead of focusing on others. I'm like, yo, I can do this and this and this. And oh, I got another idea. Oh, yep, this is going to be for profit. This is going to be not for profit. This is what I'm going to do for the community. And it's all coming out, and it never would have because I was not living unapologetically as me.
Right.
So that's my thoughts for today. Like,
Okay. Thanks for coming, y'all. No.
see you next time.
But you're what you said with playing small is so out of alignment with filling your cup, right? Because part of my um, excitement, love, feeling good, feeling at home within myself is when I'm able and feel safe to be myself, to show up as myself, to do the things that excite me. Like, my business excites me. Thinking about what I want to do for my clients, thinking about how, you know, my work fills me up emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and all those, and financially. And you know, it, it really does speak to if you are playing small, if you're in an environment where you feel the need to play small, whether it's with your significant other, with friends, with family, with wherever you work, and you feel like you have to shrink yourself down so that you're not so bright and shiny and loud. You know, I tell people all the time, Leo, I'm theater. Okay, just all the way, all the time. Yes, I'm an empath, but I'm kind of an extroverted introvert at times. You know what I'm saying? And
Same.
I and I really can remember myself and in a relationship shrinking so small of who I am just to appease this person. Because if I were too much of myself, too bright, too shiny, you know, um, too intelligent, too, whatever, I'm always made to feel bad for standing out and just being who I am. So I feel you. I was so glad when I walked away from that relationship, because it's like, why am I allowing this person to steal my shine, to steal the very essence of who I am? And yes, it's very depleting energetically. So you're always tired. You're always anxious. You're always wondering, like, am I saying the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? It's a war within. And so no, your cup is not being full, not being filled at all. If anything, it's like the cup is like it's like there's
It's,
nothing in there.
I was
And
like,
it's
or
like,
it's a dribble cup
where
that
is
just
it?
keeps coming out. Yeah.
It's like sand now, and there's not even that. So I really love that you brought that up, of how playing small is so depleting, as far as, when it comes to us living life and being who we are. So yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Man. So yeah, filling cup, playing small. I don't I don't know, just a lot of reflecting as I am stepping into this new chapter of life and what dreams I have and obligations I have to myself
Yeah.
that I didn't even realize. And I think it's fantastic when we all get to be in that flow.
Yeah.
Cuz it's funny, like as things come up as I'm having conversations, things are aligning in ways that I never expected.
Yeah.
And it's just saying, you know what, I'm not gonna pass anymore. I'm not gonna I mean, I've grown up in a world where I've played small quite a bit.
Me
Should
too.
it be from family members saying, hey, don't make somebody in the sorry, I just saw uh the comment, my cup is as dry as Arizona. I'm in airplane mode. Okay, so this is no, that's awesome. That's not awesome, actually. That is the best. That comment wins. That comment wins.
Yes.
Um, but that's not okay.
No. No. So why
But
do you think we do that though? Why do you think that we allow, since we're talking about significant others, like significant others or even people that we call our friends, why do we allow them to do that? Why do we think it's okay?
whoo, girl, you gonna
I
get me
know, million
started.
dollar question.
You gonna get me started. Because a couple things. Like one is what we're taught when we're little, right? It starts at home.
Yeah.
It starts at home. Even it's like, shh, don't say that. Like, children should be seen, not heard, as for an example, right? That is something we've been taught, especially Gen Xers. It's like, nah, you good. You best be silent. You leave the house. Bye. I don't want to see you.
Exactly.
I don't want to hear you, etc. It's just no.
Mm-hmm.
But the other is that I saw this is something that's been a theme. It's the we let people affect us this way because one, we're trying, we want love and acceptance, right? We don't realize though that we're playing to something that isn't us. There was a TikTok I saw, yes, about the green people, the red people, and then like yellow or orange. We'll use yellow just for streetlights, right? You know,
Right.
green is green is fantastic because those are your people. They're your ride or dies, and that
Right.
you feel very much aligned. And then reds are fantastic because those are your hell no, I'll pass. I don't F with you. Bye. Like we do not align. Those are
Right.
beautiful because then you know I don't want that. And I think we're until we start working on this journey on ourselves and figuring out who we are, we have a lot more yellow light people in our life.
Yeah.
And those are the ones you have to be careful with because those are your meh. And it's not that they've done anything wrong, but they're not adding either. They're just kind of hanging around because for whatever reason you became friends at one point and they could have been a green and switched to yellow. It happens.
Yeah.
But like I think some of it is we got no clue until we start actually doing the deeper work on ourselves. When we actually start filling our cups. And it's not even like, oh, you've got to be like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I am a full supporter of therapy, etc. But when you start discovering you, should it be through meditation, YouTube's, fill in the blank,
Yeah.
and you start figuring out what makes you tick, what fills your cup, what makes you you, then you start seeing there's more oranges and they're really dangerous. And this is how we play small because we're then like, oh, what if they don't? As much as we live in this place where we're supposed to be accepted, and it's so hilarious because all we want as a kid, right? As a kid, we just want to fit in. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to be picked on. I want to fit in. And as an adult, we're like, how the hell do I stand out one way or another? Should it be in an unhealthy relationship by like working 80 hours a week
Right.
and doing the corporate life, which I'm not, that's for somebody else, right?
Right.
But like, or should it be I don't want my friends to find out that this or that, are they going to judge me because I believe in ancestor veneration as an example, or I'm Buddhist, or fill in the blank. And I'm using these spiritual things because a lot of it does end up going with spirituality, is that where
Yeah.
people start, well, that's not in the Bible. And that's when okay, you know what? We're going to end this discussion now,
Right.
and say, moving on.
Yes.
But then you start finding things out, and I think there's fear around that, the fear of being ostracized, right? And I think that is also an ancestral trauma, like going back without even, I mean, like really going back, there was nothing worse than getting ostracized out of a community,
Facts.
right, a
Yeah.
millennia ago. Like
Yeah.
you did because you lived for community. You had to live in a community to survive. And so I
Right.
think some of it is automatically in our DNA, that like there is this thing of like, oh, I can't get ostracized. But I
Yeah.
think we're so that's, yeah, I'm gonna stop now. Like I could
No, but
just
I mean, it's true. The need to belong, the need to, have others on this journey with you, because nobody likes to be like alone, like feel like you have no one at all, you know. Even though I love some me time being by myself, I also know I have you. Like if I wanted company, I can call you, I can FaceTime you, we can hop on a
Mhm.
Zoom, one of us could hop on a plane or whatever. So I'm not completely alone.
Which
So
I've
I
done.
think, which, yeah. So I think it's because, it's, you're right. We want that community. We want that sense of belonging, that we're willing to accept the yellow and just deal with the yellow because at least they're not red, right? You
Yeah,
know,
but there,
and so
I
we're
know.
acceptant of the yellow, and meanwhile our greens, are probably like around us, and we don't even really realize that there's more green people available to us than the sorry meh yellow people, which they're
Right?
usually not like terrible people.
Right,
It's
they're
just
not
they don't
terrible
align with
people.
us.
They're right. They're just not in a space that they're not green.
Yeah,
They're not your, oh my goodness, I'm gonna jump on a plane for you.
right.
Or maybe they might jump on a plane, but they're never gonna understand why you do Reiki,
Yeah,
or why we practice ancestor veneration, or why we fill in the you know what I'm saying? It's just
yeah. Why we like
and
herbs, why we use
right.
crystals. Yeah, any of that and
And
all of
it
that.
and that's just shorting yourself of the better, because I can tell you, since 2017, slowly but surely, my relationships, like I look at what I used to have compared to what I have, and I am not knocking those people that they were for the season. They were,
Yeah,
we all, they were there for a season, and it could have been multiple seasons. But I've got such richer, fuller relationships because
yes,
I started letting the yellows, and it's not like this big breakup or anything. It can be,
right,
but it's just kind
right.
of like, oh, we've drifted. No, I don't need to salvage that. Like I used to want to be like, I gotta salvage it, and now I'm like, yo, either you get me or you don't. I'm gonna rock with my crew that does all the things that I do. And if you don't vibe with me, that is fantastic, because I am vibing with the people I need to
Yeah.
and want to, and who see the same things I
Plus,
do.
another thing that's jumping out at me, plus the other ways that those people who are in the yellow that we let
Mm-hmm.
fly, they don't reciprocate what we give.
Correct.
That I think for me in my personal journey, because Leos are loyal as fuck. We're very loyal. And it's like if I'm your friend, damn it, I'm your friend to the bitter end. Like, and that has been something for me in these last, I'm like you, 2016, 2017, where certain friends I've evolved out of,
Yeah.
and I'm trying like hell to hold on to those relationships because I've been friends with this person for a long time. Why would I let them go? Not understanding that where I'm going now, they can't go. That's not part of their journey. And me still trying to bring them along with me is doing more harm to myself and to them. So they can't fill their cup because I am being dead weight to them, even though they are following the assignment to let me go. And I'm trying to hold on to them. Like, just stay. Just come on and stay. So like a friendship that I had, um, and I've always known this about her. And this is, when she and I, when I was a practicing Christian, she's always been like die hard in a certain way when it comes to Christianity. And she and I, we still, are cordial to each other. We're not besties anymore. I still love her. But she posted something on Facebook that really kind of like it hurt my feelings, because you know full well that I am a Reiki practitioner. And I've even
Oh
talked to
no.
her because she's asked me questions. And she posted something about Reiki and yoga being something with demonic and you selling your soul or something like that. And I'm like, is that what you think I'm doing?
Bye.
I'm,
Bye.
I'm like, and because I had to sit with that for a minute. I was like, is that what you
But
is that what you really think I'm doing? Like, what?
How much you
So,
want to bet though? If you said something, she'd be like, "Oh, but not you. But not
right,
you. You're different."
exactly, exactly. And from that point, I was like, I'm glad that she and I are at the level that we're at. No longer like where I considered her like a really close friend. I she was someone that it wasn't easy to let her go, but it was easier as I was starting to evolve. I had another friend that was a little harder for me to let her go. And now I sit back and wonder, why did it take me so long to let that person go? She wasn't doing nothing for me, and I wasn't really doing anything for her anymore. But I realized that my cup started getting more full when I started kind of weeding out the people who don't belong in my space anymore and allowing the people who belong in my space in my space. So then my circle gets smaller and smaller. And I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that.
It does get smaller, but it gets so much fuller. And I think that's
Yes,
the beauty
yes,
of it is
that's
that
the beauty.
it's not about, like it's so funny. I think about an episode since we're talking about friendships. Oh, I know where we're going next. I got this because that makes me think of something else. But I remember watching one of the very first episodes of the Mindy Project, and she was at a bar late night and she's watching these girls, like the woo girls. We all know the woo party time girls, right? I should have waited for you to
Right.
stop sipping before I go
That's all
there.
right.
Um, but she notices they're all at this bar talking, and she's like, "Oh, I miss this. This is so fun." She joins the group because Mindy's feeling all out of sorts and reminiscing, like, are the good days behind me and whatever. And I don't even remember the whole episode, but I remember it stuck out to me because then they started talking about this guy. Like, it was a girl's birthday, and they're like, this guy, this, and then this, what these girlfriends were saying to this one girl, it was like the worst trash.
Mm,
And Mindy finally went, "What are you doing? Like, no, I want a friend who's going to be honest,
yes.
not, like, I get it. You need somebody to fire you up, but they're also gaslighting you at the same time. Don't do that. Like, I want a real friend. Like, I don't want this. And some of that comes with age, right?
Yeah.
That you'll find your friends that misery loves company, we know is a real thing. And it's not necessarily like obvious misery.
Right.
It's that kind of just like, oh, fuck men. Well, we can say that all the time, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. But like, you find your things to bond on, and then it's like, yeah, screw that, I'm better out and whatever. And it's like, or you know what? Call him in 3 days. No, if you like somebody, I'm sorry, I'm grown. If you like me, you're gonna call me
Right.
or you're gonna text me, whatever, however we're
Mhm.
communicating. But like, you're not gonna play this 3 day BS.
Right.
Like, it no, we grown. We are not doing
Very,
it. But when it
very
comes to
grown.
friends, then a few years ago when Allison and I were first becoming friends, one mentor that we had said, "Who are your pillars?" And this makes me think of it. Like, you need green pillars. Now think about a table. You can't balance a table on two legs. You have to have at least three if it goes underneath to make an even, you got to have it to balance the table on top, but you need to have at least three pillars.
Right.
And that's when I really started thinking about, who are my pillars and your pillars? Like, who are your pillars of sisterhood?
Yes.
Because you need those pillars
Yeah.
regardless of where you are, where they physically are, all of them. You need three pillars. If you have more, that is amazing.
Yeah.
But what you need is three. And if you don't have three, when you stop, and you start assessing your green, reds, yellows, and if you have to give everybody who you talk to a color, how many greens? Do you have at least 3 greens? Or do you start go, oh, I thought that person was a green, but really? No, they're not my ride or die. Like it's that non-reciprocated. I may
Yeah.
get on a plane for them, or you tell me at 2 a.m. that you need me, I'll be like 30 seconds. Just let me pour water on my face. I'm already putting my shoes on. And I
Right.
just need to know, am I buying bleach, rubber gloves, fill in the blank,
Yeah.
or do I need bail money? Just
Right.
let me know what we're doing and I'm
What are we
bouncing. And I
doing?
can,
That's it.
so you're right. Where am I meeting you? And how big is this? Like,
Right.
I'm gonna go. But there's people that I've had that who wouldn't reciprocate that in a heartbeat. At least I
Me
used
too.
to.
Me too.
And now I've got some really good ones that no questions asked. They understand the assignment and it's
That's
like,
right.
let's go.
Let go.
Say less.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
definitely. And I'm glad you brought that back to the pillars thing because yeah, it's who are those pillars for you? Thinking about your life as it relates to going back to what we were saying about filling your cup. Because first of all, your pillar will let you know, girl, you're running on empty. You need to rest. You need
uh-huh.
to get you something to eat. You need to grab your Gatorade because you seem like you dehydrated, or better yet, get you some slices of watermelon or get you some cucumber water or something like that.
Something. Exactly.
Something, because you need something. Or if you tripping out over a man, be like, girl, stop. Don't you call that man. Don't you call
I'm
him.
like, give me your phone. You
Right.
you got
Give
you
me
got
your
impulse
phone.
control. Give me your phone.
Right. So you need those pillars that will remind you of how important it is for you to fill your cup. And they will not get upset at you for taking time for yourself to refill your cup.
That right there.
They will
That
not
right
get
there.
upset. Like if Danielle and I said, okay, we're gonna talk on this day at this time, and Danielle sends me a text, be like, girl, I'm tired. We can talk, blah, 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 blah. I'll be like, nope, 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 nope. If you're not feeling it, we're not doing it. I want you to rest. I want you to feel at your best. And so that way you show up in your most authentic way. So your pillars, your ride or die, your greens are going to be the ones to keep you grounded, to help you remember how important you are, because they want you around. Like, they want you around. I know I would not want to see Danielle at her worst. I always want her to show up at her best. And if that means that I need to talk to her to help her get there, if I just need to hold her hand, if I need to pray with her, if I need to give her Reiki or whatever it takes for her to get there, I want to help her get there because it's more important to me. And it also helps me fill my cup when I'm exercising that friendship to help someone who means so much to me. So I'm glad we talked about this because it's really so important for us to really examine who you with, who's with you. Are they good to be around, or are they just there for like the trauma bonding, but they're not there when you really need someone to be there? Because
Right.
I can tell you another thing. I'm also the person that, you can only come to me so much with the same sad song, but so many times. Because
Right.
then I'm be like, okay, what you gonna do about it? Because if you're
Which
gonna keep crying about it, let's do some solutions. Because we can't keep coming back here. We can't keep coming back here.
no, we can't. You can't. I mean, like those people who want to live. I actually just had a conversation with somebody. Like, are you okay? Like, helping some, like holding space, but not letting someone stay in their story. And
Yes.
I was like, oh, yes. Because some people just want to stay in the story and hang out.
Yes.
They love being in the story.
Yeah.
And there's times where we are caught up in our story.
Yes.
But yes.
But that friend will tell you to get over yourself and be like, okay, girl, I hear you, but let's can we do something else besides
Right.
just, rehashing this same problem? Because one thing about as I've gotten older, I'm very solution oriented now. Like I get on my own nerves, basically. If I start, tripping too much, I'm getting on my own nerves. I'm
Right? Even
like,
when I'm
okay,
like, stop it. Like to myself. Be like, girl,
right.
nah. You got a
Like, oh
minute.
my God, why? No. What can I do? What do I need to do? Because
Yeah,
I can't. I can't.
I'm with
And
you.
I can't take
100%.
anybody else being that way either. Ugh.
Yeah, it makes it really hard. Yeah, it's like there was that other TikTok where that one woman explained like how when you after you about hit 40, it's not like you wake up with zero fucks to give. It starts where you're like, first I got this big ass bag and I'm taking all the fucks. And as time goes on, we start going like, I just want a smaller bag. And
Yeah.
now I'm pretty much like, if it's in my pockets, like I carry my little wallet on the back of my phone
Hmm.
and my keys in my pocket, right? I have zero fucks to give about it.
I'd be
And
like,
there's times I'm yelling at myself where I'm like, girl, you are tripping, like you are in a hot mess right now. And don't get me wrong, there are times we have to allow ourselves a
yes,
space
we
to
do.
I'm not saying don't not hold space for yourself. Don't I mean you
Right.
need to express whatever you need. But Lord knows Allison would call me on it and vice versa, where I'd be like, girl, you've been like this for the last 30 days. What is
What
happening?
we do? Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
And we've had those moments where we've held space for each other and it seems
Absolutely.
dark. And it's like, nah, I got you. How can I help?
Yeah.
And even if you don't know how to say it, be like, okay, so this is what I can do to help. But that is why you're one of my pillars, hands down, because we both are like, solution, we're going to fix this. We're going to fix it.
Yeah.
Because I can't. That was something I was explaining about myself over the weekend is that, like, yeah, one of the reasons I cannonball into the water or have these conversations, these difficult things, being brave while being vulnerable,
Yes.
it's also about I don't want to go through this again because that lesson will keep coming and keep coming. And who, like, until you learn that lesson, I'm sorry, this shit's been painful.
Yes.
I don't want to do this
Yeah.
again. So what can I take away from this and be like, I'm not doing this again?
Mm-mm.
I'm not, I mean,
No.
like, yes, we have mistakes to learn, but are we gonna learn from them or are we gonna just be like, I'm
Keep
gonna throw it in
repeating
my
it.
I'm gonna throw it in my bag. I'll catch
No.
you later.
Right. Yeah. Some stuff I don't want to repeat. It was painful
Absolutely
enough
not.
the first time. I don't want to. I don't want to. So, huh? Yes, God is bliss, honey. I be like searching. I be like, I'm fresh out of fucks to give. I can't find none.
I might have one. I might have one. And if I'm gonna give it to you to tell you to fuck off.
Right,
Like,
right. That.
because I've got no space for anything else. Yeah. So, and it does happen a little over time. It's
Yeah,
not like it isn't like we turn 40 and the next day we just don't realize slowly but surely we sprinkle a little there going, I don't need to hold that anymore or this
yeah,
or that. And we find out what's important.
definitely, definitely. Because you start realizing, once you get to that age, it's like, hmm, is it really worth me to continuously keep losing myself over this? Is it worth me to continue to keep ramming my head against the brick wall, knowing that the only thing I get from that is a headache, a massive headache? Or is it
Yeah.
better for me to just, like what you said, just go on and do the cannonball and go for it, and really just look at my life and be like, you know what? I'd rather see my life as an adventure. That's
Same.
that's that's what I really want. That's what I strive for these days. I want my life to feel more like an adventure than a punishment, than, you know, not fun, not, you know, I'm like you, because you said something so poignant in the beginning of saying how you really are being very intentional with your life right now, in
Yeah.
how you're looking at life and experiencing life. And that's where I am right now. I'm very intentional. And that's why conversations like this about filling our cup is so important. So what are some of the things that you do, Danielle, that helps you to fill your cup? And then I'll share some of my stuff.
Doing this with you is
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Two, my coffee time. I love coffee. I mean, I love the taste, but I mean, I
Ooh,
love the ritual of coffee.
yeah.
And making, like with ancestor veneration, that I make my ancestors a cup of coffee and sitting down and taking that moment to set intentions, but also reading, um, hanging out with friends that are on that my greens, right?
Yeah.
My pillars. Um, and sometimes filling my cup is laying on my couch and doing absolutely nothing and just be like, because Lord knows I got a list of stuff to do right now. Like, right? I'm like, okay, I got tabs open about steps to incorporate grants proposals that need to be written with deadlines and all these things. And I'm like, okay, but do I really have that in me right now? And the answer is no. And I'm like, and let's rewatch the originals for the eighth time. Like, but you know what? It's good. It's I'm always reading something because I love stories. But I think one of the biggest really is finding ways to help others, like, and in a very specific way. I am not saying give it all away,
Right.
but my cup is really full when I don't get caught up. Like, on average, I'm seeing at least 30 patients a week. That's great, right? I'm working my butt off. I am happiest and flying high on all my energy when I get in with a patient. I'm like, all right, I'm tuned in, locked in. The intuition is there. I'm like, this is what we got to do. And they come out and say, oh my gosh, that was amazing. That was perfect. But that fills my cup because I'm not going, the energy exchange is there without the drain. And
Right.
that's the careful thing about when I say when I'm giving to others, it's when it's an even exchange. And then I'm like, yo, I'm full, I'm rocking and rolling. I'm like, yes, what's next? Next. And it fills me up because, but that is also, I'm being a conduit. I am not taking it on, and it's not me. I'm just the conduit,
Yes.
and I allow spirit to flow through. So, anyways, that's me. What do you do to fill your cup?
Yes. Well, same with the coffee thing. Coffee is a ritual for me. Um, the other things that I like to do is rest. It's I can't say enough about rest. Like years ago, rest would not be something that I would even allow myself to do.
Oh, right.
And, now it's like I understand how important and vital it is for me to take that time to rest. So now it's like nothing's coming between that. I don't care if I have a deadline of something I'm trying to meet. I don't care if, all the stuff with Sacred Pathway Academy, clients that have signed up and I gotta, get their stuff together. Okay, fine. That will happen. But right now, if my body tells me I need rest, I'm resting. Um, the other part is taking time to do the things that just bring me joy, that I enjoy doing, the work that I do. I love giving Reiki. I love teaching about Reiki, talking about energy healing and all that. That's all of it is my jam. I could do it like all day, every day. I love it. It fills my cup to do this, to sit and talk with, Danielle, and we talk about pillars and all the stuff that we talk about in private that we're sharing now with the world. Um, Filling my cup sometimes means me sitting down and binge watching Chicago Fire for the thousandth time. I love
Same.
that show. Oh my God. Um,
We gotta talk about that later while we're not
yeah,
online.
yeah, definitely. Um, or Chicago Med.
Right? That too, that
Like,
too.
but yeah, doing that, going outside and just taking a breath, and walking, and if the sun is shining, let the sun hit my face
Right.
and feel that beautiful feeling just hitting my face. Or just sitting still,
Right?
and in silence fills my cup so much, like unbelievably makes me happy.
Right? It does. Whoever thought? I mean, when I was younger, I couldn't sit in silence, and now, whoo, silence is gold.
Nothing like it.
One of
Yay,
the
got
things,
it, Shonda. She said
one of
this
the
is a
things,
conversation she needed to
right?
hear.
The thing about priorities, Goddess Shonda, there is no such thing as priorities because priority is supposed to be one thing as the priority. When that's just a list of things. And I know that sounds a little harsh, but I remember this because it's like, what's the priorities for the week? Well, no, what's the priority in my corporate world? That's what it was. So, what are the priorities? Well, I can't have 10 priorities because then nothing gets done.
Yeah,
You just and it was really start, and it's like, think about that. You should only have one priority. You can have your top 5 things that you've got goals, but one has to be the top priority,
yeah,
and then everything else is just a goal. And then when that gets done, you can go to the next thing and raise it up as the priority.
right.
But because disassociating is real, girl, I disassociate on the regular if I am not careful about it. I think we've learned how to do that really quick. One, we learned to disassociate as kids,
Yeah.
especially those who love to read. That
Hmm.
disassociation, and my mom be like, "You're grounded." Oh darn! I get to stay home and read.
Read.
Shucks.
And I'm gonna be in my room, being left
With a
alone,
book.
and I got
Oh.
books and paper and stuff I can write.
Exactly. But
Darn.
then mix in the pandemic and we all learned how to disassociate real quick. We're like, we're back. We know how to do this real good. I've been waiting for this. I got this. I
Right.
know how
I'm
to.
built for this. I'm ready. Yeah, for
We
real.
got lots of practice. But yeah, one of the things I started doing unintentionally as you started saying all this, Allison, is that because I work Friday through
Mm.
Tuesday. Um Fridays, I have been going to the forest preserve before work. And I've
Mm.
walked to the river and then walked back, which it's not that long of a walk. I'm maybe there for 20 minutes. Now we got cicadas everywhere, so that ain't happening. Mm-mm. No, no, no. While I know that their shells are really actually good for getting rid of a sore throat in a tea, no, thank you. No,
Hard
thank you.
pass. Mm-mm.
Hard pass.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. Look it up. In Chinese medicine, it's called Tui, and it is those exoskeletons that they shed. That is, ugh.
Yeah.
Anyways. So yes, we're staying away from the forest preserve for a minute because, no, my walks are bad enough right now just around the neighborhood with the dogs. Like, no, thank you. Ugh. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Oh my god, a dog who likes to eat anything that flies. Mm-mm.
Oh,
No, no.
yeah. Goddess Bliss, yes, music is definitely a way I fill my cup, a way for me to recharge, a way for me to just like go into another world. I love music. I can sit and listen to music. You know, um, I was thinking about you the other day, Danielle, because Sade, you know, and you know,
Yesterday, I had her going for a massage, and I was receiving. Yes, so Miss
yes,
Sade is she's the queen. Mm.
she is. She is. So
She's
she's
such a beautiful.
definitely a vibe when you want to just chill out, just listening to
Mhm.
Sade. It's just, it's a vibe. It's beautiful.
That's a
It's a
vibe,
great way to
and
fill your cup.
exactly.
Yep.
Mm. Wow, I feel like that is a good place.
Yes, it is. I thank you all for joining us. Leave us comments on the video. Let us know any topics or anything you want us to talk about. We'll cover it. Um, but we appreciate you showing up, whether
We
you're
sure
watching the
do.
live or watching the replay. And Danielle, thank you for having
Hey,
this juicy conversation.
yeah. And thanks, Evelyn. It's good to see you on here.
Yay! All
So,
right. So, everyone, have a wonderful evening. We'll see you again next time. And bye for now.
bye, everyone.